This is the plaintiff, Lisa Nazario. She says the defendant bought her a car when they were seeing one another, and now that they've broken up, he stopped making the payments on it. He told her she wasn't holding up her end of the bargain for the car because she wasn't having enough sex with him. Huh? She told him that's not how relationships work. He wants nothing to do with her, and now she's on the hook for paying off the car? No way. She's suing for $5,000, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Wayne Wernow. He says he fronted the money for a down payment for the car while the plaintiff was waiting on a workers' compensation settlement. This girl was a loser in every sense of the word. She abuses the system. She's trying to abuse this court with her crazy lawsuit. And if anyone has owed money here, it's him. He's accused of letting a lover down. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000, the money he's owed for the car.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants were in a relationship. He bought her a car but stopped making payments because he said she wasn't having enough sex with him. Now he says she is a loser. It's the case of getting in gear.
Thank you, Douglas. Lisa Nazario?
Yes.
You are suing Wayne Wernow for $5,000 that you say you are out as a result of his actions. You are counterclaiming against her $5,000. You say you're out $11,000 for her not making payments on a car you bought her. All right. Ms. Nazario, you and Mr. Wernow were dating.
Yes.
What's the age difference between you two?
51. I don't know how long.
53.
Okay, so not much. You're like, a good 51, and you're just white, silver-haired. I'm sure you're a great 53. Okay, but there's a lot of silver going on there. Okay, so you start dating. How do you two meet?
Online.
Okay.
Our Time website.
Okay, and so you start dating, and you date for how long?
A couple of weeks.
Okay.
Everything was okay, and I had an accident with my car, and he insisted on getting me a car. I told him I couldn't.
Wasn't that a little bit bizarre when you have been dating a guy? How long? A few months?
It was a couple of weeks, maybe a couple
of weeks, less than a few months. Not even a month. And he wants to buy you a car.
It was like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And but what happened was that I had totaled my car.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Well, you can't be in Long Island without a vehicle. Come on, I insist." And we.
I insist what though?
To get me a car. And I said,
and pay for it forever?
I couldn't.
Because it's not like he had cash and got you a car.
I don't know what he had, what he didn't have.
Well, how do you not know the details?
I said, I can't afford a car right now, Wayne. And he said, "Don't worry about it. You insure it, register it in your name. Don't worry about the payments." And that's how it went.
And so, what kind of car did you accept from a man you knew a few weeks?
It was a small car, a red
what
little
kind
Toyota
of
Solara.
Car? What year?
2005.
Okay. So, and did you go with him to pick it out?
Yeah, we went looking.
Oh, okay.
Well,
how much did the whole thing cost?
I have no idea.
Did you sign anything there?
No.
Okay. So how were you able to register it in your name if you're signing nothing?
I had plates on my old car, and all I did was transfer the plates over, and the registration and the inspection sticker was done.
Okay, but the title's not in your name to the car.
No, it's not.
Right. Okay. I'm missing something, but okay. So were you paying insurance?
Yeah.
And the car was registered in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
And then here's a surprise. You guys stopped dating. Mm-hmm. And there's how many more years of payments left?
I don't know about payments being made. All I know is he called me a couple of weeks later.
Who broke up with who?
We just kind of drifted apart.
Who broke up with who?
A couple of months, I would say, because we went away a couple of times.
She broke up with you. After how many months?
4.
For those 3 months when she wasn't broken up with you, who was making the car payments?
She was waiting for a settlement that she was going to be awarded $20-something thousand. And when she got the settlement, she was going to pay me the payoff number on the car, and then I would have signed the title over to her, and then it would have been her
Is there
car.
anything in writing between the two of you that would document what your agreement was?
Well, Your Honor, I have texts back and forth.
Yeah, that'll do. Let me see what the text say.
Oh,
can I
you're
see them
gonna
on the
love this.
actual phone as opposed to typed out by people? Or?
This is off of my phone. These are pictures from my direct phone. If you
Can I
want to
just
see the phone,
Yeah,
oh,
I prefer to see the phone because I always get it in context with
Absolutely,
nothing
Your Honor.
added or deleted. Who is the nice lady with you?
That is my mother.
Okay. Hi.
I guess you could start with right about there.
This is right after the breakup?
Yeah, those texts
Okay.
I saved them because I knew I was going to need them later.
When did you guys break up?
April 2014.
Oh, this is, you put me at January.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is that we started dating in May of 2013 and broke up in September, October of 13.
2013, 3 years ago? Are you serious?
Yep.
Okay. Does that sound right, maybe? Okay. So you send her a text September 2nd of 2014 that says, did you mail me the payment? So was she making payments after you guys broke up?
She made 13 payments to me, and I have a copy. And there's a copy of another text that's on the phone of the last payment that she sent me right here, which was dated January 3rd of 2015. And she wrote right on it, car payment number 13. She made 13 payments towards this car. Unfortunately, I'm on payment 39.
Okay. That's the last payment you get, and what happens?
She got a boyfriend involved. They called me, which is also on there, telling me that I'm committing bank fraud.
Why?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, what did he say was the reason why?
He said that I guess basically I'm trying to get money from her for a car, and all I tried to do was help out somebody that was a little down on their luck.
Well, she's cute too, right?
Okay, well, and that's fine, and I helped her, and I got her there a couple of times.
Listen, buddy, you're here because you made the grave error of involving yourself in car payments for the next how long over a woman you'd known a few weeks. That is not you being nice.
It was
Go
actually,
to a soup kitchen and serve some soup.
It was actually
if you
3
want to
months,
be
Your
nice.
Honor.
She's a hot tamale.
It was actually
and you
3 months.
Yeah, whatever. That's ridiculous.
Okay, all right.
Is this how you ran your life until now?
She agreed to make the payments.
Is this how, I understand,
no,
sweetheart.
not normally,
She
Your Honor.
agreed, and then
Not
what
normally.
happened? How did that go? Didn't
Not
go
too good.
well.
No,
Because
it
you're a
didn't.
litigant. Right. Thank
That's
you.
what you get for being a good Samaritan.
No, that's what you get for being a fool and thinking with not your brain. Okay? All right. I can't sign the title over to you. It's in my name. This is December of 2014. It's in my name. I can send you a copy via email. The original stays with me until the loan is satisfied. And I'm paid the $2,000 I already laid out. 3 payments and the down payment of $1,000. Send me your email address. I'll email you a copy of this. So things are very clear at this juncture. Okay, and you give him your email address. And then you say, I'm working on that. I called my lawyer yesterday when he felt to get back to me that 18 months should be over like very soon since the appeal. They stopped Frankie's disability checks. He's looking for a job this month. It's really tight for me, but I'm working on it. So you're telling him I'm going to pay off the car. Why did you guys break up? I'm asking you.
He smoked too much.
Smoked what?
Cigarettes. And it was a little offensive, you know.
Like how?
Like, right before he came to the driveway, he would throw out the cigarette, put gum in his mouth, and I could still smell the cigarette on top of the gum, when he went to kiss me hello. And that's kind of like what kind of made me drift away. To be very honest.
Had you told him that?
Be very honest. Yeah, he was trying to cut down. I, kind of waited, but, he made comments about, well, you're not pulling your end of the deal, and you're going to have to start making these payments on your own. I'm like, what are you kidding me?
What do you mean your end of the deal?
That I had to have sex.
What do you mean?
Have sex with him for the car.
Wait, you're not pulling your end of the deal. Were you boyfriend and girlfriend at that time still? Were you dating?
Yeah.
And he says to you...
You just asked me why we broke up, and I'm telling you why.
No. What I'm questioning is, did he tell you before you broke up, you're not having enough sex with me, and that's your end of the deal with the car?
Yeah, that's why I had to start making payments. He was taking care of them before that.
Where's the car?
It's upstate New York at my new apartment.
Okay, so you have the car.
Yes, I do.
And you haven't made a payment since when?
Don't recall the last payment.
Okay, why don't you tell
January
us?
of last year.
January of 2015, he says. Might that be accurate?
Perhaps.
And you've been driving it for all that time?
No, I haven't. It's been parked.
Well, but why? But you haven't made a payment on it, and it's in your possession, right? Yep. Pretty much exactly as you folks talk about, except for the one thing missing in over a year of text that I just reviewed is anybody saying this thing was a gift I'm not supposed to have ever paid you. 1 year of text, and there's never you saying, I don't need to pay you at all because this was a gift. Never. How come if it's a gift?
Because I have a different phone. I had 2 different phones since then.
I am talking about
on his
your
phone?
text on his phone. 1 year of excuses. I paid. You didn't get it. I'm shocked and appalled. But not once do you ever say these magic words you've come up with in court for the first time, which is, but this was a gift. You never say that.
Because he was very mean to me when I didn't see him anymore.
What difference does that make? You're answering him. You're just not saying those words. You're saying different words. So there's only,
He blew it.
You know, you can't, the reason why you're saying words that aren't, but this was a gift, there's only one logical explanation for that, and that would be because it wasn't a gift. Because every time you answer, you just talk about how you have to pay.
All I wanted was the title so I could register it and license it in Florida.
Okay, so what you're suing for are the payments you made on the car, your towing costs from Florida to New York. Why towing costs?
Because I had to have it towed here. I didn't have insurance on the vehicle.
May I see your towing bill? And then the towing costs by police in New York. Why was it towed by police?
Because I moved the car from my daughter's house to my new apartment because I didn't have an apartment yet, so they dropped it off at her house, and I got pulled over. And that's when I found out
You didn't have insurance. You weren't supposed to be driving it.
I know.
I thought you said it was a garage queen for the last year.
No,
Well, you
I
couldn't
didn't say that.
Yeah,
No,
so
no,
you're
no.
driving it, and then
No,
you
I didn't
finally
drive
get
it.
caught. That was the one time you drove it, was when you got caught, right?
Yeah.
So how often were you driving the car uninsured?
I wasn't driving it. I moved it to the apartment building.
Okay, so you're
That's where I-
driving it
that's
to
where I
the
was-
apartment
that's
building.
where I was taking
And
it, yeah.
Wonder of all wonders, that's when a police officer stops you the one time you've driven it in a year. Okay, all right, and so you get a ticket for driving without insurance, and your license gets suspended for that reason?
No.
Why is your license suspended?
I found out at that time that my license is suspended and my registration that I paid for is suspended, and that's because I didn't pay insurance.
Right.
And that's because I wasn't using the vehicle. But
Except
I
for
had
you were.
to
You used the
return-
vehicle
I
that
was
day, so
not-
they found you using it without insurance.
But I was not using it before that.
Why would someone have to pay for your suspended license when the reason it got suspended is because you didn't pay insurance, which is knowledge within your control. You know you didn't pay insurance for however long this was. How long were you uninsured?
From July of 2015.
Until?
I wasn't using the vehicle, so I didn't need
Until
any-
when?
When I came back
when?
up here.
What date?
July,
A year later?
yeah.
A year later.
Yeah.
So for
right
a
there.
year you didn't pay insurance.
Right.
And then you decide to drive it because you will pay somebody to tow it Florida to New York, but you're not going to pay somebody to tow it a block. You thought you could get away with it. It didn't work out that way because they stopped you within that block. And geez, if it's a block, you can look down and see there's a cop there and not even. And then you get your license suspended for driving without insurance. And then they charge you $300 in fees, but he has to pay it. Why again?
I didn't know my license was suspended in New York, and it is because I didn't have insurance. I wasn't paying
But you
for
knew
insurance.
you weren't paying for insurance. How is
Right.
it his fault?
But it's not a vehicle
No, but
that
just
I'm
tell me how
using
he has to
because
pay.
he didn't give me the title, so I could register it in Florida. So I couldn't use
Except
the
for
vehicle.
you didn't have insurance on it, and it was already registered in New York, and you weren't providing proof of insurance. That is why your license in New York got suspended because you weren't providing proof of insurance.
No. Because my registration was taken. It was suspended because of having no insurance. Because I didn't return the plate. I didn't return the plates. I didn't know the plates had to go back.
Okay, well, why is that his fault and he has to support you on
Because
that?
if I would have kept this car insured, I would have been able to use it. I would have had Florida plates on it. But he made all that
and then
impossible.
the tow costs by police in New York. That's when the police end up towing
one
your
end to
car
another.
after the ticket. No. The tow costs from Florida to New York. No.
Okay.
And then you're suing for the payments that you made on the car because you want to give him the car back, but you want your payment.
You want the
and
car
then you
back?
should have
I
a
want my
free
money
car
back.
for 2 years. Why?
I want the money back.
Right, but then you unlike the rest of us who have to pay to play, the rest of us, because I gotta tell you, I dated a lot of men, all right? I got married after 30. I dated a lot of men, all right? And not a one offered to buy me a car after 2 weeks. Not a one. And let me tell you, okay, I also was a hot tamale. All right?
Still are.
So I don't get how you think you can drive a car for 2 years
You know
with
what?
someone else footing the bill the entire time. You pay nothing for
actually
driving
free.
the car. Unbelievable. All right. Now let's talk about your counterclaim against her. You're suing for the statutory max of $5,000. According to you, you are owed a remaining $8,003.75 in car payments. Oh, that's the amount you've already paid?
That's the amount I've already paid,
Oh,
Your
good
Honor.
God above.
There's still another 7 payments. I have the payment book right here if you'd like to see it. I'm a loser no matter how you look at it, Your Honor. Okay?
Why haven't you sued her?
I'm out a lot of money.
What I don't understand is why haven't you filed a lawsuit against her before this? She's the one who sues you.
Oh, actually, my father lives.
Why would you say thank you?
My father lives about 4 or 5 miles from where she lives in Florida. 16 different times he went to the addresses that I looked up on her, and at no time was the car ever there.
Right. And?
Okay. My idea was I have the key, the title. I was just going to go get the car.
Right.
And end it, sell it, take my loss, and be done with this.
Right.
Lies.
Did you learn anything?
Oh, yeah, I learned.
Okay, I have to take a recess, and I'll be right back.
All rise.
So he buys her a car, puts it in her name, and now she's stuck with the payments. Who's dumber?
I would think her, just because she let him put the car under her name.
What do you say?
I think the same thing. She shouldn't have let him do that after a couple of weeks.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Her lawsuit against you is easy. You lose. Your lawsuit against her is a little more complicated. Your counterclaim. Okay? You've chosen to come to small claims court and file your counterclaim here rather than hiring a lawyer and going to, a place where you could get the full $8,000. So you're capped by the $5,000. That's something you know when you walk in here, right? However, on the remaining payments that are left, I am going to dismiss without prejudice for you to file a case when and if those payments aren't made. I am going to order her to pay you $5,000 for the payments that she's missed so far. That's the most I can order on the 8 and the 1, because these events have already happened, okay? On the $2,241.05, she's not getting a title until she pays you that. So you may find yourself in court again on those figures if she doesn't pay it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you ever want to be able to drive, first of all, let me just say something. I know you've been driving the car for 2 years without making payments. Okay? The idea that you would think that I think that the only day you drive it was a day when a police officer was there and you drove it a block. Not only is that the only day you drive it, that's the only block you drove it. If you think that I was born yesterday, you are quite mistaken. Okay? But yes.
It doesn't matter.
One more thing. I would like to get the car back.
I bet you would.
I have the key and the title and everything. Am I entitled with the sheriff's department of where the car was located?
Oh, go ask the sheriffs. Go ask the sheriffs all that.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got a key and a title. So I am not stripping you of that. I am merely ruling on the following: money that is owed to you for past payments. That's all I'm doing. The only thing I'm doing now is I'm figuring out that this lady's had the car for 2 years. Okay? And hasn't made a payment on it in all that time. And you have been stuck making it. Now, whether I think that that's like your comeuppance for ridiculously buying a woman a car who you've known 2 weeks, yeah, I think you've suffered enough.
It was actually 3 months.
3 months. Okay. 3 weeks or 3 months?
Can't remember.
Okay. 3 months isn't good either.
Remember.
I mean,
I understand.
Seriously, that's like high school. Okay. All right.
do I
So I'm
go
ruling
about
in favor of the defendant in
won't
the
get
amount of
anything else from me.
$5,000 on the plaintiff's claim against the defendant, 0, and I am separating the claim for any future payments, and that is for another judge on another day. Those are dismissed without prejudice. That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Good.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff loses this case big time. The defendant does prevail to a certain degree. Mr. Zario, I have to ask you, do you think really this whole thing began to fall apart in your relationship when you stopped wanting to have sex with him?
Yes.
Primarily because he was still smoking, partially?
Yes. Yeah, he smells very bad.
And that really was it?
Awful.
Huh?
Horrible.
All right. Well, it's quite a story. Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much. Now the defendant's on his way out of the courtroom. I got to ask you still smoking?
Yep.
How do you feel about what the judge decided here?
Good. Ruling was fair, and now I can go
You okay?
elsewhere and get the rest of my money.
She called you a fool early on in the case. Do you
all right.
still think that's
I
true?
learned my lesson.
You learned your lesson. You know, your hair matches your mom's now. Okay, you're twins.
Getting up there.
Okay, you're getting on there. Thank you very much.
All right,
You've
thanks.
assigned some documents. All right, Harvey, quite a dispute here. What do you think?
Doug, it is so stupid. I'm sorry for using the word, but it is stupid for somebody to go ahead and buy expensive stuff for somebody when you've known them for a couple of weeks. It is trying to buy somebody's love. We have seen this over and over in the People's Court. It never, ever, ever works out.